Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to our session. I'm really very lucky that attendee party only tomorrow and some people still coming to sessions. So thank you very much for attending. And today we're gonna talk about what's new in Lync Clients, specifically Windows and Mac since RTM. So my name is Nikolay Muravlyannikov. I'm program manager. I'm responsible for running Lync Client tab programs. I'm based in Moscow, so please don't ask me questions about Sochi. It's 800 miles away from Moscow. Yeah, and Miro?
Hey, my name is, assuming this mic will work. My name is Miru. I work on the same team, kind of driving some of our client pieces and our Skype Link integration as well.
Thank you. And today we have a very clear goal is to overview new features in Lync Clients for Windows and Mac. What I'm going to do, I'm going to present and demonstrate all features, so it's not going to be like presentation, it's mostly will be demonstration. So please feel free to stop me and ask any questions if you have. We also want to hear your feedback about these features, and we also want you to provide us more feedback about features you need for your business. So we have 5 feedback sessions tonight, starting at 5:30. So here I have business cards, so you can find here schedule of those sessions. So please come and suggest new features, because we have ability today to talk about new features because of your feedback, because you provided this feedback and we implemented those new features in Lync Client. So please come to our feedback sessions and provide even more feedback in order for us, Miro and me, to be on the next Lync conference and talk about more new features here. So thank you. So I just want to start with a short overview of history of Lync Clients and how we get from this client. Do you know which version? What is the version of this client? Oh, sorry. Oops. Yeah. What is the version of this client? No. 2005. Skype credit. How we get from here to this client? I won't ask about what is the version of this client. Assume you all know. So I just want to overview history of our clients. So we started, of course, before Live Communication Server because we had some kind of functionality in Exchange 2003. But as separate product, we started with Lync Communication Server, and we released Office Communicator 2005 for Windows Mobile. And we released a very interesting client, Microsoft Messenger for Mac. It worked with Macs starting from version number 6. Then we had clients with OCS and OCS R2. We had the same set of clients, so we had clients for Windows, Mac, Windows Mobile. We had very interesting client, Communicator Mobile for Java. It works with some versions of Nokia and Motorola, and we had client for BlackBerry. Between those two releases, we didn't have any new clients. We just improved functionality. And then we moved to Lync 2010. With Lync 2010, we had Windows, Mac, Windows Phone, iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry. Android first time, iPhone first time. And with Lync 2013, we introduced clients for Windows Desktop, Windows 8, so which is modern interface, Mac client, Windows Phone, iPhone, iPad, and Android. As you see, BlackBerry is gone here, but you still can use BlackBerry with Lync 2013. However, it requires deploying BlackBerry Enterprise Service. So that's why I didn't put it here as natively supported. But those were not all clients we had. So we had additional clients to handle all modalities or additional modalities in Lync. So first client we had, it's Live Meeting Console. since Lync communication server till all the way till Lync 2010. We had client for group chat, separate client for group chat till Lync 2013. With Lync 2010, we introduced ability to join, participate in your meeting from Lync 2010 client directly. And with Lync 2013, we introduced unified client, as I call it. So we introduced ability to use all Lync modalities in one client. With that, I just want, before we will overview the new features, I just want to quickly review the functionality we had with the start of Lync 2013 client. So just short recap. And I just want to review which 5, I would say, pillars make Lync really or truly unified communication client. So with introduction of Lync, what makes Lync really unified communication client? So my favorite feature in Lync, it's what's new in this contact card. So what's new in this contact card? It's if someone connected his Lync with Facebook, you can always see in what's new what he or she posted on Facebook. And while you are starting chatting with this person, you can see what's new. Okay, I just went to Vegas to Lync conference, and you can say, wow, you've been to Vegas. Tell me more about this. It's very, very, it brings some elements of social communication and personal, let's say, relationship with when you are talking. So single identity and shared contact card really allows us to communicate and talk to people with more background. So you can see their calendar here. You can see organization chart. So how far these particular people from CEO. You can see here calendar. So busy for what time, when he is free. You can see here information. You can see here information about groups he's participating. So that contact card is very useful. You can see, you can put here note about something you are interested. It really helps us. It really helps us and builds framework for unified communications. The second feature we've delivered, and the second feature area where we focused was area of communication, so enable great meeting experience and collaboration. So with Lync, I would explain Lync meetings as simple, unified, and accessible. So simple, you can set meeting right away from Outlook calendar. You can set in separate. You can set all your meetings in separate areas. You can, while you are setting meeting, you can disable video. You can set. You can say, okay, disable IM with newest updates. So it's a very powerful tool. During the meetings, you can share whiteboard, you can share poll, you can choose which monitor you can present, you can upload attachments. So this is the second area, I would say, which makes Lync client truly unified communication clients. One key differentiator of Lync, of course, it's all features we've delivered on RTM. One very great feature which differentiates Lync is HD support. So you can see in gallery view, you can see up to five video at the same time. You can see who is speaking, and we support H.264 SVC codecs, scalable video codec. Which helps us now introduce, today you all heard we introduced interoperability, and we even shown how it works, interoperability with different systems. OneNote, it's one of the best thing in Lync, I think. So you can put your OneNotes while scheduling the meeting. You can track who you invited. You can track who attended this meeting. So if you want to see the demo of this, I will demonstrate it during my next session. What's new in meeting? I will demonstrate integration with OneNote. You can upload PowerPoint, you can upload whiteboards here and have full track of your meeting content and your participant. So this really differentiates Lync from on the market. And of course, we are proud of our integration with Microsoft Office Suite. So you can see the same contact card in Outlook, Word, Excel, whatever. In every application, you can see those contact cards, and you can start sharing your content, let's say PowerPoint, directly from PowerPoint, not going to Lync. So all those features we had on RTM once we hit RTM. But you always wanted more, and we delivered more. So since RTM, we've delivered 40 new features. I grouped them here by pillars. But before this, I just want to say thank you all for providing the feedback, because all those features we have, they are based on your feedback and on your business needs. So we've delivered about 40 new features, and now I just want to overview them during the demonstration. Any questions so far? Yep. First release of Lync, release to manufacturing. Sorry. Okay. So let's start and overview new features in Lync. So first area we focused was getting you more control on your contacts and way how they look in your Lync client. So the first feature we introduced with February updates was ability to show contacts with away of line and unknown presence in a separate group. By choosing this, you can get rid of away contacts and contact only to people who are really online and who can communicate with you. I'm visiting our customers, and I see that many people use this feature actually. So it really helps not to distract your attention and focuses on people who are here online now. The second feature we've introduced very early. Again, it's dedicated to control over your contacts. It's allow invites from domains my admin hasn't verified. So if you check this button, so someone from Skype, let's say, can contact you. If you uncheck this button, and you will try to find someone on Skype. Oh, sorry, Peter Houston. So if you try to communicate, send IM or whatever, you will never receive even invite. So you can find this person on Skype, but you would never able to contact to him or her. So therefore, your users can have power on, should they be accessible from, let's say, Skype or other clients or not. One feature I really like in Lync, which we introduced. I'm just continue talking about features which are not meeting related. So it's like people, chat, etc. One feature we've introduced, and I really like this feature because I'm not a native speaker. And this is, I think, one of the greatest features we introduced, and it was huge demand about this feature. So it's spell checking, and you can spell check while you're typing. I can type. And as you can see, the logic is the same. The logic is the same. It's the same logic we have in other Microsoft products. You just get your misspelling bold in red, and Lync can easily help to here. The beauty, yeah.
Quick question: the spell check capability, is that basically all handled in terms of the overhead on the whatever device it is the client's on? In other words, none of that activity is required to go across the network or to get back to the link pool, right?
Yeah, yeah, it works. It's all client side. It's all client. It's the same engine we have in Microsoft Office suite. It's the same. One of the very demanding feature is ability to transfer your pictures in line. So before this, if you transfer some pictures, or if you put some pictures here in IM window, you had to actually save this picture, accept this feature, and only then you can review it. But what if you don't want to see, or you want just to overview it here and don't want to save those pictures on your hard disk? So we've introduced this picture, this ability. So we introduce ability to put pictures in IM and view them on other side. So Miru can send me this picture again. Yeah. Any questions so far? Apart from so you mean if you said it automatically corrects as you type now? No. It highlights your misspelled words, but it doesn't automatically change the word. And do you need this feature? Yes. Please come to our feedback session today. Really, we want to talk about this. Okay. So you mean if you go to Outlook and...
Yeah, you paste in a picture or whatever, is that going to be retained in your conversation history if you go visit that later?
No.
I don't know off the top of my head.
No.
We can follow up.
We can follow up.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All the text and everything is. So.
Yes, yeah, but yeah, we can follow up. Yeah. Yes, it's CU3, so we released it in September. To
go back to your question, I don't think we are storing it in conversation history because even file transfers are not stored in
we don't
conversation
store
history either.
But we will follow up
to the piece. But
That's considered a file transfer.
it's treated as a file transfer, but we're showing it in the UI a little bit differently in the sense that users can open it and view it because it's an image. They don't necessarily want to save it before they view it. They just want to view it. So, but the underlying mechanism is around file transfer. So I don't think we are storing it, but we'll follow up with you offline.
Yep. As we started to talk about pictures, one more feature we introduced here since RTM is ability to put your own picture instead of corporate one. So assume situation you are federating with other company, and obviously this company doesn't have access to your corporate address book. And they don't see corporate pictures from address book. So in order to address this, we've introduced a feature which allows to show you a picture from a public website. Here's two considerations. First, the photo shouldn't be bigger than 30 kilobytes. It should be smaller than 30 kilobytes. And the second consideration, all people who are talking to or communicating to, they should be able to access these pictures. So if in this example, for example, in this case, for example, I put this picture on Facebook. So in order to see it, other people should be registered on Facebook. If they not, they won't see this new photo.
Was there an ability just to upload a picture into Lync?
So upload into Lync? No. The way we are working with our pictures is that we take them from Active Directory or point clients to external link, like in this case. So you don't have ability to upload a picture to in Lync Client directly and just then show everyone. No, we don't have. Do you think we should have it?
We get a lot of acquisitions that
Uh-huh.
are tied into our, we're integrating with our Lync, but they're not, they're actually directly from.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking for the ability to upload pictures a little easier. They're not tied into our SharePoint. That's how we upload our pictures today. So
Mm.
would be interested if you end up coming up with something where you could maybe feed straight into, maybe you could use Lync as your front end to feed into Active
Mhm.
Directory as opposed to doing it through SharePoint. It's just something we're looking at.
Just make it simple.
Hmm?
Just make it simple.
Yeah.
User ought to be able to just upload pictures.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. So those were features related to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Huh?
Can we turn off this feature?
Turn off? Yeah, you can turn off this feature we have on NextHop. You know NextHop blog? On NextHop we have article how to turn on and turn off this feature, because in order to turn off this feature you have to add two policies, two items in client policy. So you can turn on, you can turn off this feature. Any other questions? Okay, let's go on. So those were features focused on more on people, chat experience, IM, but of course, we did a lot of investments in meetings area. The first feature we introduced in Lync Client is Meeting View. It's a very useful feature. So Meeting View allows you to review your meetings for the day and then join them in one click directly from this meeting tab. Assume you just arrived on your desk work and you have meeting in 1 minute and your Outlook is still starting up. So you can join before this feature has been introduced. You won't be able to join the meeting. You had to wait. And with this, you can just simple and easily join the meeting in one click here, right away from this tab. Apart from joining online meetings, you see here some meetings are in blue, some meetings in gray. In blue means those meetings are actually Lync meetings, and in gray they are offline meetings. But you can see here when it starts, when it ends, and where they gonna be. Like here, I see review in Building 6, then catch up in Las Vegas, and lunch again in Las Vegas. So it's very useful, very convenient for the users. As I said, meetings, Lync meetings. Let me join to meeting from different devices. Oops, here, and I'm gonna just to show you some features. I'm gonna join meeting from Lync Web App at the same time. Joining while it's joining. So we brought 2 more features, or even 3 more features in Lync meetings. We were constantly asking for a feature which allows to mute IM. So at the RTM, so first version of Lync, we were able to mute audience. We were able to block attendee video, but we weren't able to mute IM. Assume you are participating in a meeting where 200 participants or 200 attendees, and instead of listening to you, they are all discussing last trip to Vegas, how much they gamble, etc. So not a very good situation. So in order to mitigate this, we introduced the feature which allows you and which allows to say just no meeting IM, but please keep in mind, I will join as attendee. Please keep in mind that everyone who has presenter rights can can unmute your IM. So now I have two presenters, and Anna, she can unmute IM. So she can just go here and unmute IM. If you are joined as attendee, in this case, you cannot unmute. So if you go here in Actions, you see it's great. So when you are scheduling the meeting, please keep in mind the importance of putting people in presenters or giving them permission of presenter or giving them just permission of attendee. Attendee cannot do this. So if I promote someone to presenter, so if I promote it, so I join at the same meeting from Lync Client and at the same time via Lync Web Application, just to show you. If I promoted someone to presenter, now I have ability to allow this and disallow and allow. So please bear in mind this and make sure you distinguish people who should be presenters and who should be just regular attendees. One more thing about this feature, this particular feature, is that the behavior of this feature is different if you are muting, unmuting during the conference or at schedule. So here I just muted or unmuted at during the conference. Let's mute audience. I am during the schedule and see how it's different. So I will just put new meeting, link meeting, and I will say disable IM at scheduling. I am mute. Test. So now I scheduled this meeting. I am joining to this meeting. I've got notifications that organizer disabled IM in this meeting. And if I go to action, I cannot unmute the IM, even if I organized this. So if you muted audience at schedule, it's not possible during the meeting to unmute the audience. So again, keep in mind. One more feature, one very demanded feature we introduced, it's ability to ask questions in structured way. So we've introduced Q&A new tab in Lync meetings. Let's put, I will join another meeting because here I muted audience. Oops. Okay. So we've introduced a structured way to collect and answer questions questions during this session. So if you have like say if you have some meeting contents, in my case I will upload here PowerPoint presentation. You can see tab next to presentation, it's Q&A, and you can have those two separate tabs. And your end users can actually switch between those two tabs to review presentation or just to ask some question. So here I'm presenter. I'm not attendee. Again, this feature looks slightly different if you are joined as attendee, not as presenter. So if you are joined as presenter, you can see all questions or unanswered questions. If
Presenter, what's the indicator that someone has actually asked a question?
so, the indicator now it's just to go to Q&A and see if you have here unanswered questions.
So you would, if you were presenting, you would never know that somebody
Yeah.
submitted a question. You simply have no indication that that occurred.
Yes. So you can just go to this tab and review.
Right? That might be an improvement, something that gives you an indication that somebody's presented a question.
Okay, it's good feedback.
Why would you ever go there?
Yeah, so typically I think the scenario that's around this is that you would have like a group or a team of folks that would be monitoring Q&A while someone else is presenting. So, but that's very valid feedback. That,
Very valid
if
feedback,
I'm
yeah.
presenting and monitoring Q&A at the same time, just
Yeah.
how do I know that there's a question that's being asked?
But now you can just go to this tab and review unanswered questions. So if you are presenter, you see unanswered questions. So if you are an attendee, you see my questions in this tab. This is the difference between. But thank you for feedback. Oh, I actually here I see the 2 questions in Lync Web App, but I don't see them.
Presenters make a question available to everybody?
They actually all available to everybody. So here I asked one question as Peter and the second question as Nick. Here I joined as presenter, Peter Houston. And let's move to attendee view. So here is attendee view. Here I am joined as Nick. And as Nick, as attendee, I can see again all questions, or I can see my question only.
You don't see all the questions.
I joined later.
You just said previously that you would only see your questions.
Your questions we have here. We have here, you see, all questions. So we have here 2 tabs again. On Q&A, we have again 2 tabs. All questions, so you can see all questions during the meeting, or you can switch to my questions here. Is it clear? But you don't have any tool which allows you, or any instrument which allows you to hide questions from all attendees. And again, if I promote attendee to presenter, my view will change. So unanswered now, I see. Any other questions? Do you use the question and answers, this tab? Have you ever used it? Yes?
So, just to comment further on Michelle's comment previously, we hold a lot of webinars for one of our
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons they won't do WebEx.
Mm-hmm.
Is because webinars, the way they're configured and structured inside WebEx, is a lot more efficient for that particular task.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any plans for a different front end or some type of functionality enhancement that would duplicate capabilities of a webinar in WebEx? Or GoToWebinar, things like that?
I think we need to capture more your feedback and what is different and what would you like to see here.
So one of the things we are doing is around structured meetings. And so that's some of the things that Gurdeep talked about this morning was around structured meeting. And that's really to dedicate to that scenario.
Yeah,
it's how do we take some of these features that structured meeting, it doesn't necessarily have to be a very large meeting. It could be even for 25, 50 people, but it's more structured. And how do we get these features like Q&A, IM mute, and drive some more granularity into that? So that is something that is on our backlog, and that's something that we're working on.
No, it's fixed.
It's fixed, yeah.
It's fixed. So pop up at.
Pop that and keep on the screen.
Okay,
Simple.
Got it.
that's good.
I think what you mentioned, one of the main scenarios here is that this is very much a structured Q&A. So you would have either a person or a team who are handling the Q&A, so the presenter is not interrupted, or the presenter at some time during the presentation will break away from this presentation and answer the Q&A at that stage. Because quite often a presentation can be derailed by a few questions and answers, and it can get very, very distracted. So in this scenario, it's much more structured, whereby you would have a Q&A session and then go back to the presentation. So that's the model behind this particular implementation. But the features you've got are very valid as well.
Yeah.
Feature that you may want to consider as an additional role of moderator. This is a feature that you could go to my own part. The presenter is not bothered with questions. It's a separate moderator fielding these questions
Mm-hmm. But now, if you're attending a meeting with Q&A enabled, you can switch if you're a moderator. It's just workaround. It's not solution. You can, if you are a moderator, you can switch to Q&A and moderate and review them constantly.
Right, but you cannot answer all.
Yes, if you have presenter, right?
If I'm not the presenter,
If you are not a presenter, no.
Well, so
can I have multiple?
you can have multiple presenters.
You can have
Right,
multiple
yeah. So
presenters.
you can
yeah.
create. So it doesn't have to be the meeting organizer. I think that's
Yeah,
where the difference is.
yeah.
You can have multiple presenters, and presenters can answer all the questions.
Can answer any question, yeah.
And using the Q&A doesn't inhibit you from using the IM functionality, right? You can still use
Yeah,
IM.
it'll disable the
It will
IM.
disable.
So when you enable Q&A, it disables.
It disables IM, but you can enable them.
You can re-enable it by default.
By default,
when you switch to Q&A,
yeah,
it will
it's
turn
just
on.
disable. Turning on Q&A just disables IM, but you can enable them.
Okay, so let me make sure. So enabling Q&A disables IM.
IM, but you can enable it again.
Go back and re-enable it.
Yes,
Correct.
yes,
So you can have both?
You can have both. Yes.
yes.
But
I'm demonstrating right now using both. I enabled Q&A, so yeah, IM. Sorry, so I can use Q&A and IM at the same time.
Re-handling feature or something like that.
No, not yet.
Is there
Not
a
yet.
limitation on number of questions we ask?
No, no, no.
It's open to
Yeah. So, and you can also, in addition, you can also save this Q&A as TXT file, and then review it, put it on SharePoint for everyone in your company.
Q&A is text only, no images,
Yeah, only text, TXT. The next feature I want to, any other questions here? The next feature I want to highlight is, as far as meeting concern, is ability to record your meeting with different resolution. So we added here recording, and we added 3 different resolutions. We have 2 HD resolutions. One is standard resolution. The only thing here that you can't change this resolution on the fly. So let's say you started with 1080p, but now you want 480p. It's not possible during the meeting. So you have to set this resolution or desirable resolution in advance before joining meeting. This is very important. So and the last, I would say, client feature what we introduced, it's related to video. So we introduced crop and center my video in meetings. This feature again, it works only in meetings. So without this feature, if I joined a meeting and enabled my video, so like here, you see it's white video. So picture is not optimized for, and assume you have like 10, 20 participants and they all show you white picture. It's not very useful. So you can change this behavior, but again, it works only for meetings. If you join a one-to-one call, it will show you in white screen. Oh, sorry, my video. Crop and center. Stop. Now it's just, I need to rejoin the video and put mirror away because camera detects mirror.
So that's one of the other things that it will do is that if you have 2 people side by side and they're trying to join, and they're joining from one laptop, for example, it will be smart and realize that, hey, there's 2 people, let me expand, as opposed to if there's one person, it'll kind of focus on that one person.
Yeah,
So.
and you see now it's narrow. narrow view. So camera focused on my face and nothing more.
And that setting has no bearing at all on the stream that is transmitted, right? It doesn't produce different bandwidth or anything. It's only the recording.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So those are features related, I would say, to end users. Any other questions on end users related features?
I've got a couple of questions.
Sure.
So going from 2010 to 2013, in 2010 when you were in a meeting, the ability to mute someone was just right there.
But it's also here. Mute and unmute someone. You can mute, unmute.
But how about even just muting and unmuting yourself?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're viewing, right? And in 2010 it was just a click of a button. It actually showed up in a couple of places.
Mm-hmm.
To do that now, you got to pop open one of the menus down below.
Mm-hmm. Here?
Yeah. Well, that's.
You have to rejoin.
I need to rejoin. Yeah.
I think you do. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I need to rejoin.
So that was the case that when we did release initially, we did release an update after that. So you can actually just click on that button, and it will act the same way as 2010. So clicking on that button will, correct, yes.
Yes.
And it will toggle, correct. Yeah, there's also a keyboard shortcut, Windows key F4, that will mute and unmute.
Anything else about the ability to save information about the meeting? Attendees, as an example, I know you got conversations,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can open up OneNote, and this is a little bit from a perspective. OneNote, it'll populate the people that are in the meeting right now, but there's nothing dynamic about people that perhaps join subsequently, as an example. Has there been any improvements around recording of who attended and the content and things of that nature, to where it's a much simpler experience?
But OneNote collects participants. So OneNote allows you to collect who joined, who accepted the meeting. Let's unjoin and join again.
Something going on with Mike.
Hmm?
But to answer your question, so OneNote does track.
Yes.
So for example, if you do link your OneNote, it will track, even if, for example, you link it, it'll track everyone who's in the meeting, and if you join like half an hour later, it will track that you joined half an hour later.
Yeah.
But going back to your original question of outside of OneNote, is there something that you can do today? Not easily, but that is something that we are looking at of how do we make that easier for users to capture that data.
And that OneNote functionality is different than the 2013 and 2010, is that right? But I think 2010 didn't function.
2010 did not have the OneNote integration, correct? It was
Now we have. I will demonstrate OneNote scenario during the next What's New in meeting. I will demonstrate the full OneNote functionality. But you can, just to show you, you can add the scheduling. You can set OneNote. You can say, okay, I want to save these notes in OneNote and in this particular OneNote. And here you will track from the beginning who you invited. Then once those people join the meeting, you will see here a little checkbox, attended. You will see here, once they accepted the meeting, you will see here, accepted, then attended. And if you share something, let's say you share PowerPoint, it will be uploaded here. Not automatically, I will show during a meeting session.
It doesn't matter who you're doing. So you have to do the upload though for it to show up here. You're just doing like application sharing.
No, not for application sharing. So you can save here whiteboard, for example, with all stuff you have on it. You can save here PowerPoint presentation.
So this will show all the people that were invited
Mm-hmm.
and a status,
Yeah.
accepted or attended.
Yes.
It will also populate the people that perhaps joined that weren't invited. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to clarify on that, the accepted and that status is only if you do it at scheduling. So you can also do this ad hoc. So for example, if you get into a call,
Yeah.
you can do that. That won't show that, but
yeah, that
if you
wouldn't
do
be
it on
tracked.
schedule, it does show.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the OneNote.
Sorry?
Does it capture the polls and the poll results
No.
in the OneNote?
No. Whiteboard.
Whiteboard,
Whiteboard, PowerPoint. So if you uploaded PowerPoint, it will show up here.
It's good feedback.
Yeah, if you're running or let's say sharing some application, you can record and put it here in OneNote, recording of your meeting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you for feedback. Any other questions on those features? So, and apart from user and user features, we introduced two I classify as IT Pro admin features. So I'm gonna just disable my internet connection. And if you are disabled connection, your link if you have some problems during the sign-in, your link will, oh, interesting, sorry. I will start link. If you have any problems during sign-in process, your link actually can collect those logs during this process, and will show you steps which link took in order to sign in. So you can see here login fail as expected because I turned off my network, and here you can see detailed steps which link took in order to sign in. It's very useful for troubleshooting, so user can just copy to clipboard, and if Outlook still is working, you can send it over to admin, and therefore admin don't have to go to user desk and troubleshoot. But if you are connected successfully, you won't see here any logs, so it always will be clear. It's yeah, here and sign in logs.
Does logging have to be enabled within the Lync client?
No, it works just from the box.
Again, this is just the sign-in log. So once you sign in, we clear the logs right away. So
it will be clear.
Do you have anything similar to that around joining any meeting? You've got challenges where occasionally you click the link
Mm-hmm.
in the browser and
Yep.
do that, right? Close all the browsers, click it again, it opens up, so there's something happening there. And I don't want to get into a detailed discussion, I'm just curious if is there anything that's similar to that captures kind of that join environment without turning on logging and then have that
Troubleshoot your meetings, let's say.
Well, really the join process and I don't want to distract the meeting, it was kind of related to this, if it's not.
yeah, we don't have anything.
We
like
don't
that
have
today.
anything
But
here.
that's very fair feedback of.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of just that join process, just that little bit without necessarily enabling end-to-end logging of the client.
Right,
Um,
and maybe we can talk offline.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
problem that we're having that it probably can't join it.
Yeah.
Browser.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the similar functionality, but for meetings, let's say. Okay, yeah.
Currently, if IE is not the default browser,
Uh-huh.
the Lync client won't kick off on it'll go to the web client within the default browser. Is there any way, or plans to become
We have a list of supported browsers, and which browser do you use?
well, we have many different browsers across the company. Some people use Lync, some people use Chrome, some people use
Mm-hmm.
Firefox.
Mm.
Neither one of those will launch the Lync client. It takes them to the web portal.
If this set as default.
To IE.
To IE, yeah,
in order to join.
and then it would work.
I don't know. That's
I
the first time
don't-
I'm hearing it. I don't own the meeting space, so but that's something I can follow up with you offline.
Yeah, we can
Um,
follow up on this.
yeah.
And as you can see, if you sign it in successfully, logs are empty. And the last feature we've introduced into Lync Client. Oops. I want to go back to presentation. The last feature we introduced into Lync Client is passive authentication. In Lync Client, it's just a picture of new features. So if you download this presentation, you will have them all handy. The last feature we introduced in the Lync Client is support of passive authentication. So that means Lync Client can be configured to use, let's say, a smart card or a virtual smart card, or it can use form-based authentication. So you can deploy ADFS version 2 or higher and point Lync server to it, and once client tries to sign in, client hits web ticketing server. Here is shown the standard process of authentication, not with passive authentication. So usually how the process of signing looks like. So client hits server redirects client to web ticketing service. Web ticketing service gives client a web ticket to authenticate into server. Then client by using this web ticket authenticates to the server, and at the same time client receives certificate from Lync server, not from Active Directory certification authority, but from Lync server. And for subsequent authentication, the client will use certificate. The client won't use all those steps. Client will only use certificate granted by Lync server. But first initial authentication goes through an NTLM or Kerberos. It depends if you are connected inside or outside. What we did, we introduced support, so we took one more steps here. So if you deployed Active Directory Federation server v2 or higher, you can say, okay, we don't support now NTLM, we only support Kerberos. Now, please, web ticket service, please redirect users to Active Directory Federation service, and therefore, and don't grant any web ticket for first initial login. Web ticketing service will redirect users to ADFS. ADFS will check users' credentials. It could be either smart card. With Windows 8, you can use even a virtual smart card, or it could be form-based authentication. It works for desktop client right now. Then ADFS grants. So the idea here is that user don't have to input his credentials. So just input his smart card. Smart card authenticates against ADFS. ADFS grants token to user, and user uses this ADFS token to get again web ticket. So initially, you won't get this web ticket. And then, then using this web ticket, we can authenticate against the server and request certificate, but certificate from Lync server. All subsequent authentication will go with certificates, so you don't have to input your credentials or use other means of authentication. So this how our passive authentication works. Any questions here? Is it clear? Yes.
Question on the ADFS. Does it have to be ADFS server, or you can be third party like
It has to be ADFS v2. However, you can use third-party authentication provider with ADFS. Supported authentication provider with ADFS, but it should be ADFS. No, no. Yeah. Any other questions on this stuff? No? So with this, I want, yeah. And the last feature I want you to overview is pchat feature. So how many of you use pchat? 2 of you. Okay. So do others know what pchat is? So it's ability to have consistent chat in your company and talk to ask questions and save history of questions. So we were asked many times to have ability escalate chat into other type of communications. And with November updates of Lync Client, we've introduced this button. It allows to call everyone in the room and start a conference call. At the same time, the link on this conference will be placed into in the room. And if you are, let's say, away and missed this invitation, because once you start escalation to conference call, you've got pop-up, and pop-up will be for some time. It's not for like 1 hour or whatever. And if calls is still going on and you just back to your place, you can see this link and use it to join the conference. It's again, it's client feature, and it's in CU4, so our internal CU4 or November updates. Any questions? I just want to wrap up Lync client desktop functionality and pass to Miru. We'll cover Mac functionality. Any questions on desktop? Yep.
Did you cover the ability to pre-stage poll information so you can present several polls right in a row or anything where you can have those basically on stage without shared or anything?
So you can do that today.
You can do it today. It's not a new feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you join the meeting ahead of time, you can have all of that shared content ahead of time, like even PowerPoint decks that you've previously uploaded, and then stop sharing. And then at time when you're ready, you can kind of hover over that share menu and then choose the right poll that you'd like to.
Absolutely.
And then you can name the polls so you kind of can track which poll.
Do they have a lifetime where you can do it like a week ahead of time?
Yeah, you can do this ahead of time, but you need to control. I believe we have a server configuration which says for how long the content should be retained. Yeah. Yeah.
Uploaded content.
Yes.
I don't know if it applied to this as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
if you have a very short span, 30 minutes or whatever,
Yeah.
that's the amount of time.
You can configure it. Yeah.
So it's that setting on content expiration applies to all content types, not just one.
For example,
You
yeah.
treat polls as content.
Yeah. For example, while preparing this demo, I uploaded this content and it's still here. It's still here. Any other questions?
You had something called recent contacts.
Recent contacts?
Yeah, that was there in 2010. It's not.
2010.
There.
It's not 2013. So we do our review now of features we've included in Lync 2013 since release date. So we cover 5 CU, 5 CU, 5 cumulative updates.
Do you have any plans to bring back that feature?
Currently, no.
No.
We don't have any plans. There's no active plans to bring that back. I'd love to get your feedback.
Your feedback, yeah.
Maybe offline about kind of the use case around that, the specifics.
Business
around
scenario.
that. But yeah, no active plans to bring that back right now.
Did y'all resolve the defect where if you had one person who was supervising another one and that person supervised that other person? Did y'all fix that for us?
Supervise.
Are you talking about the delegates?
Delegates.
Inactive directory
Uh-huh.
Another person was in charge, supervised them when you went to the organizational tab, you blow out.
I don't know. I can follow up with you offline to
Yeah.
see if we've fixed that. That's the first time I'm hearing of that. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one either. So, cool.
Okay,
Right, perfect.
thank you.
Any other questions before we jump to Mac? We'll have time anyways since going through
Absolutely.
this. Cool. So as I mentioned, over the past year, we've had 3 releases from the Mac client, and we've kind of worked through kind of some of the pieces that you guys have been asking for and working through some of the pieces here. The biggest one was our June update that came out last year, and that supported Lync Online and Lync 2013, and being able to log into those servers and having support around that. Voicemail enhancements, delegates, and recording I'll go into in the next few slides. I have specific screenshots for that. So, and then the October and the December release were around crashes and some of the bugs that we were hitting around that. One of the biggest ones for the December release was the HD camera. With the MacBook Air, there was a HD camera issue that would cause the client to crash. That issue is now resolved, so you can use that. And then supporting O365 in China, and being able to log into that infrastructure there. So going back to kind of some of our June updates, the recording options. The first one here is being able to actually see that the meeting is being recorded, and having that banner at the top that tells you that that's being recorded, and then down at the bottom, that persistent notification that that's always there, just so that when users are in there, they have that, and they have that notification. From a voicemail perspective, you now have the ability to see voicemails that come in with a specific number and then play the voicemails directly from the client. This is something that was not there prior to June. We do have that in support today. You'll see that entire list. You can still call out and get your voicemails by listening to them, but you can also do visual voicemail and have that all in one shot. And then finally, we have delegate enhancements. What we did is being able to view your delegates directly in the client. You have a list of all your delegates, and then you can now edit all of the delegates there. You can add, remove, change priority of, if you want to ring them after a certain amount of time, all of that. And then the toast notification as well. So if an incoming call comes in that's picked up by one of your delegates, being able to show that directly in the toast, that this specific user has selected that. So again, just kind of 3 releases, and we're constantly kind of working through some of the items that are on our Lync for Mac backlog, and working through these items, making sure we kind of bring that up. But this is kind of what we've accomplished kind of in the past year, so to say. So, and that's pretty much what I have. Like I said, is a kind of a short piece to talk about. Can open the floor for questions either on the Mac client or the desktop client.
There was also a hotfix update that
Mm-hmm.
came last week, which actually fixed one of the key issues that one of my customers was.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is the presence and outlook for Mac.
Mhm.
Consistent presence and outlook for Mac.
Correct.
So that was fixed as well.
Yeah.
That's all that's for Mac.
Cool. Thanks.
Did you indicate you were going to be available later to talk more about potential
Yeah. So I don't know if we have this. Yeah. It's not here. Yeah.
Here's the schedule.
I think you had a question as well.
Yeah, so we learned the hard way that an organizer can't delete a meeting in Outlook that's in progress or meeting somebody else. Is that expected behavior?
If you, as an organizer, cancel the meeting or you delete the meeting.
Yeah, so for example, there was a recurring meeting.
Uh-huh.
There's probably 15 minutes left in the meeting. We decided we wouldn't hold it anymore, so we deleted the recurring section. The organizer.
Right. Yeah. That's the first time I'm hearing of that.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
same. No,
Yeah.
it's the first time.
We replicated the issue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know if that was
Yeah, it shouldn't blow up. But by, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm just taking a quick note here.
I was just surprised that you canceled already in progress.
Yeah.
Killed the meeting without canceling.
Right. Yeah. Well, the meeting link is no longer valid, so I mean, it kind of stops that meeting, but it should be a little bit more graceful in kind of how it stops. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions? Cool. All right. And I guess we can give you guys back about 10 minutes, I guess.
Yes, 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.